Contract Manufacturing Solution Application Setup Part 2. Our objectives are as follows. After completing this lesson, you should be able to create work definition for a finished good item, create a blanket purchase agreement on a contract manufacturer, explain the item transaction default setup, describe receiving and shipping processes used in the contract manufacturing flow, and describe costing considerations which are related to the contract manufacturing flow. Our first topic describes a summary of setup tasks performed in manufacturing, purchasing, functional setup manager, and inventory management and costing. The setups for supplier, inventory organization, product information management, planning, and global order promising were discussed in the lesson titled Contract Manufacturing Solution Part 1 Setups. In this lesson, setups performing in manufacturing, purchasing, and item transaction defaults will be explained. The key setup tasks that are performed within the manufacturing application are as follows. Manage work areas. This defines the work areas in the contract manufacturing organization. Manage work centers. Defines work centers in the contract manufacturing organization. The Manage Work Definition task defines work definition for the contract manufacturing finished good items. And Print Work Definition Report. This prints the work definition PDF or XML document, which is then sent to the contract manufacturer. The key setup task that is performed within a purchasing application is Manage Agreements. This is used to create a blanket purchase agreement on the contract manufacturer and attach the work definition PDF or XML document to the supplier category within the agreement. Note, there are no additional setups required to support the contract manufacturing solution in inventory management, costing, order management, or supply orchestration. The next topic describes manufacturing setups. This illustration shows that the work definition enables users to model milestone operations which are performed by the contract manufacturer and indicate the operation at which OEM-owned components are consumed. It is used later to create a work order that will be used to track the actual production progress at the contract manufacturer. It adds operations to the work definition, which represent the key points at which to retrieve progress updates from a contract manufacturer. It also associates components you own with the operation that will consume them. It associates service item to the final operation as an operation pool component. Later, when you create and transact the contract manufacturing work order, this will allow the system to calculate a cost for the finished goods by adding the cost of the service plus the cost of any components that you will provide to the contract manufacturer. The navigation for this setup is through manufacturing and work definition. The task associated with this is called Manage Work Definitions task. The next topic describes the purchasing setups. This screenshot shows that you can set up a blanket purchase agreement to automate purchase order creation for a specific contract manufacturing supplier. The work definition of the contract manufacturing finished good item is attached in the blanket purchase agreement to the supplier category. Whenever a purchasing order is created on the contract manufacturer, the work definition is sent as an attachment. The work definition indicates the milestone or count point operations at which the contract manufacturer needs to report the production progress. The slide shows how a blanket purchase agreement is created and highlights the contract manufacturer, contract manufacturing service item, and the work definition attachment for the contract manufacturing finished good. Some points to notice for a purchase order which is based on a purchase agreement. The item is the contract manufacturing service item. Details are communicated to the contract manufacturer via an email or as a PDF document and includes the work definition print as an attachment to the purchase order. Processing tasks include the following: the creation of contract manufacturing purchase requisitions, the processing of contract manufacturing purchase request into a purchase orders. It communicates the work order details, finished good item details, and work definition attachments to a contract manufacturer, and also the searching of purchasing transactions using the work order information. The navigation for this form is under Procurement, Purchasing, and Manage Agreements. This topic will describe the item transaction defaults. This screenshot indicates how to define a default receiving subinventory for contract manufacturing service item and set it as the same as the supply subinventory for the service item in the work definition for the finished goods item. This will ensure that when a contract manufacturing purchase order is received, the service item will be received into the subinventory by default, and when the work order is completed, the contract manufacturing service item is merged back from this subinventory. The navigation for the setup screen is under the Setup and Maintenance work area, then Manage Item Transaction Defaults. This section will describe how to instruct the contract manufacturer to receive. This flow depicts how the inventory organization at the contract manufacturer is physically managed by the contract manufacturer, but the OEM has ownership of the goods in the organization. Essentially, the contract manufacturer operates the warehouse on behalf of the OEM, but all transactions in the warehouse have to be recorded in the OEM's ERP. Receiving in the CM organization can happen when the OEM supply components are received at the contract manufacturing plant. This slide shows the details of the process that is used by the OEM to instruct the CM to receive components in the organization. The steps are summarized as follows. A receipt advice is sent from the OEM's receiving system to the contract manufacturer. The contract manufacturer physically receives a goods. The CM then sends a receipt confirmation to the OEM, and then based on the receipt confirmation, OEM updates the entry into the OEM's receiving system and updates inventory records. This section will now describe how the manufacturer to ship the finished goods. This flow now shows how to instruct contract manufacturers to ship. Shipment happens in the contract manufacturing organization when OEM requests the contract manufacturer to ship the finished goods either to an OEM's customer or to an OEM warehouse. The slide displays the details of the process that is to instruct the contract manufacturer to ship the goods. The steps are as follows. A shipment request is sent from OEM's shipping system to the contract manufacturer. The contract manufacturer physically ships the goods. Then the contract manufacturer sends the shipment confirmation to the OEM, and based on the shipment confirmation, entry in the OEM shipping system and updates the inventory records. This topic will describe how to plan and account cost. This diagram depicts how to plan and account cost, used to estimate material, resources, and overhead cost, and to perform cost roll-up to calculate standard cost. It supports detailed planning and estimation of cost for items and resources, and provides a holistic view of product profitability and cost across the supply chain. Costing can be used for the following. Account components consumed by contract manufacturer. It can include purchase receipts to account for manufacturing services. Create accounting entries for work order transactions. Review costs incurred against the work order. And track performances. Here are some included practices to cover the concepts covered in this lesson. In these practices, you will review a purchase agreement and the attached work definition document, and review supplier setups within procurement. Let's quickly review our topics before continuing to the practices. In this lesson, you should have learned how to for a finished good item,